Hi everyone, and welcome to Book Club with Bay. I am Bay, and this is Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hi, Bay.
And this is other Bay. Say hi.
Hello.
And today we were talking about the Vampire Diaries, the Fury, the third book in the first Vampire Diaries series of like 50.
What?
Of like 50 and of two that we were actually doing. And like Bay said, it's almost a plot. There's almost a plot. Almost.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Almost being the operative word.
Like some stuff kind of happened this book.
Yeah, some stuff almost happened.
Yep. So we'll do ratings and then I'll say what I was gonna say.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this. We didn't think about this.
Okay, well,
with nothing on it, aka a nothing burger.
I'm gonna go with in the theme of there was almost a plot. It's like a Twizzler where there's almost a flavor.
I guess a nothing burger is kind of like that because there is at least like a patty and a bun, so it's a burger, but just that's it.
No embellishment.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, it's a book.
It's a book.
It is a book.
I wasn't spending literally the entire book going, what's happened this book? Literally nothing.
And I know we said
something kind of happens.
The LJ ones, but I have to admit it makes me curious to see, like, in the hands of another.
Yeah, I agree.
What the fuck did they do different?
I'm probably gonna read them after we're done with them.
Yeah,
so
same.
just because I want to know who she ends up with.
I want to know. Well, I also want to know like what they do different. If there's plot.
Yeah.
Does it follow the show?
Yeah.
Like what they do with it, and also this is where. Like, the last two books I remembered from when Bay and I did them, because for book club we did the first two books. These books I remembered from being a child.
Yeah.
This is what I distinctly remember from being a kid, because I remember all the Catherine stuff.
Yeah.
I remember, like, in the first couple of books, there's, like, Catherine memory shit. And rereading it the first time, I was like, I don't really remember this stuff. But this book, all the Catherine stuff that's in it, I was like, oh yeah, this shit. I remember.
Just how I felt about it is, oh, this shit.
Wait, okay. So, do we want spoilers for who Elena ends up with in the end of the books?
Isn't it Damon?
No.
Oh, it is Stefan?
Yeah, I don't know who she was supposed to end up with in LJ's mind, but LJ wanted to ultimately the publishers wanted Damon to be a temptation, but like, you know how he was in this book where, you know, there was a bit more temptation from Damon in this book, but she was still like, I love Stefan.
Yeah.
That's kind of the route they wanted to go, like nothing more than that kind of thing, and where she was like, no, I wanted to like hook up with Damon and then we'll see what happens, or end up with Damon, like ultimately. And they were like, but Stefan.
But Stefan.
People says he's here in spirit. By the way.
So does that mean that we're just going to get random text popping up the entire stream then?
I suppose.
Thank you for your participation.
Yeah, so yeah, LJ wanted Elena to be a whore, whereas the publishers are like, well, how about you just be a one guy?
So then does she not even like do anything with Damon in the books?
I don't know if anything ever actually happens with Damon in the next series, because I haven't read them. But if so, he was never a real contender for the Elena Gilbert heart.
I think I'm letting my show feelings influence my feelings on the book. Because I stan Damon so hard. Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna fuck, before ratings, I was going to say something. What was it? I didn't even start with it.
I don't know.
Fuck. I'm sure it'll come back to me. I'm sure. It has to. But
It's fine.
yeah, no, oh, that's right. So I knew um who the other power was
Hmm.
and everything, and I forgot what exactly the other power was responsible for. Like more or less everything from the time that Tyler tried to do a rape-a-doodle. Everything bad after that point was,
The other power.
well, spoiler alert, it was Catherine.
Fucking Catherine. When I read her
Fucking
name, I was
Catherine.
like, are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, like, we had to have kind of known, though, that she was coming back because they never saw her die. They literally saw a pile of ashes. Instead,
Yeah.
it even looked like it could have been out of the fire. And I was like, well, that's literally where it came from.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
literally.
But, I am curious to see if it's in the next series or if it's the next book that we find out exactly how Catherine and Elena are related. Because she says in this book, we must be related somehow. Because I don't know if it's in the next book. I can't remember exactly how it works out, but how they're related is not how you're going to expect it to be.
So it's not like in the show where she's just a descendant.
No. Would you like a spoiler?
Oh, yeah.
They're half sisters.
But how?
That's what I'm saying.
How are they half sisters?
I don't know. It might have something to do with, because Margaret, the little sister, do you want to know what she is?
Oh, yeah.
She is half an angel. She's a half angel.
Oh my god, that's fucking right.
We have angels?
Yes. Oh
Yes,
yeah,
the
that's
books
right.
have
Yeah,
angels.
That's right. In the I fucking forgot about this. Okay, so in the world of L.J. Smith, because there's more. All right, it's like an expanded universe for her. There's like more stories and more books and shit, and it gets fucking wild when you actually get into it. Like, I'll have to send you it because there's so much shit in this universe.
Yep.
And
So,
like the number of supernatural species that we have in like the TV show, it's like vampires, werewolves, witches, and then like travelers, which are just witches. And then you have doppelgangers, if you want to call them a supernatural species, which I
Technically,
guess.
they are.
but they're inspired by witchcraft.
Yeah, and then you also have the hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later we
It
get into
appears.
some other stuff that I'm not, because you haven't seen it yet, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
Um,
It appears from what I've looked at, every other species besides witches, except for werewolves, originates in witchcraft. Like witchcraft created every other species. I can't remember about werewolves though.
witchcraft does a werewolf too.
Okay.
It says it. It shows it in the originals.
Yeah, I
think
couldn't
it
remember
shows it in
if
season 4, I think.
yeah. So the only natural, supernatural type thing in the show is witches. Everything else is created from witchcraft. Whereas in this, there's this, that, and the other, and they're all. There's angels.
Is Klaus actually dead in the books?
Yeah,
Okay.
unless he gets brought back,
Yeah.
because in books and shows like this, death is never the end.
Dead. Except for Aunt
Like,
Jenna.
Rip Aunt Jenna, honestly, to this
yeah.
day.
Aunt Jenna's dead. But the other thing, like with the Elders series, like you got angels, you got your demons, you got your reincarnations, you got your bitey boys. Like it's okay. Go up though, because there's more.
So are all of these like the same like world?
Like the Night World, I believe, is part of. I don't know though. I don't know if like the Vampire Diaries in the Night World is the same, but the supernatural creatures work the same.
And
Yeah.
there's Secret Circle, Forbidden Game, Dark Visions, Wild World.
Like the rules for everybody are the same.
Okay, let's have a look. So I'm just looking at the werewolf rules for, because yes, Ken 100% confirmed Tyler Smallwood is a werewolf. So, like I think it was like one of us asked that last one or the one before, and I was like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I thought he had gone wolfy by now. No, he hasn't gone wolfy yet, but he is a wolf, so it's fine. And it looks like they have triggered, like they have to be triggered as well in this, but I'm just saying. Oh, okay. Okay then. Natural werewolf birth. If someone is bitten by a werewolf, the gene is passed down through the bloodline of the infected person. So you can be either converted or born a wolf. If you're born a wolf, um, the werewolf gene is like dormant until they either complete a ritual involving the werewolf drinking fresh blood or killing somebody. So you don't, if you're a dormant werewolf and you don't want to kill someone to become like a, then you can just like go and cut your friend's hand and do a sucky suck.
That makes
Which
sense.
well, I kind of like that there's that out, because every time we see a transformed wolf in the show, it's like they've killed someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've had to do a murder.
Or manslaughter or whatever. Like they've committed homicide of some fashion.
Yeah, even if it was an accident, like poor Tyler's.
Yeah.
Oh, bless though. Because oh wait, no. Where are you up to? What's going on?
I'm in season 5. Damon and Elena are together. They just awakened Silas's like soulmate. That is another doppelganger of the Elena
No,
Catherine.
she's not
Yeah.
a doppelganger. She's the original.
She's the
the
OG.
OG.
Excuse
Get
me.
it right.
Excuse me.
Are you even a real fan of the show? Fucking.
Anyways, that's where we're at there. And then in the originals, Tyler just showed up and kidnapped Haley.
Okay, so we're not at what I was gonna reference with Tyler yet, but the thing,
Tyler's going crazy.
yeah, the thing where he almost does a thing and doesn't want to do a thing, so then someone else does a thing, so he doesn't have to do a thing.
I'm glad you know exactly what you're talking about.
That scene broke my heart. I was like, you
What
look so
season is this
scared,
thing
bless him.
Season
I-
6.
Of Vampire
Them.
Diaries?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all I know is they're in college at this point. That's all I
They
can
are-
remember
they are in
as to
college.
where it happens.
Yeah, they're still in college in season 6.
Fucking Elena, though. I want to be a doctor. You know, my blood can heal humans with just a sucky suck, but I want to be a doctor the old fashioned way where people die. I want to be human again.
I'm gonna spoil this for you now. She takes the cure.
I mean, you already told me that everyone, that like David and Elena are human by the end of it, so.
Caroline's
Like-
the only vampire.
Yeah, Caroline's the only vampire left by the end of the series, and it's kind of like,
Sucks.
I mean, she's not the only one in existence, but out
Obviously.
of our peeps.
Out of our cast.
Is this like
Yeah.
the Vampire Diaries or the fucking Human Diaries? What the shit?
It's the Vampire Diaries, then it turns into the Human Diaries.
I don't like it.
I hate the way it ended.
That's not
It's
most
because-
series, though.
Well, it's because Ian and Paul became executive producers on the last season, and they're both hashtag Team Human. I think if they weren't executive producers on the last season, it might have turned out differently.
And then also, and I told you about this too, in the originals, the actors who play Elijah and Klaus were like, well, we don't want to have to come back for legacies, so our characters have to die. Because Klaus wouldn't just like leave his daughter. But what he would do is kill himself.
I'm already
Wait,
irritated
wait,
about that
wait.
because I know about Caroline.
Klaus wouldn't just leave his daughter, except for all the times that he sent her away for her own protection.
Klaus and Caroline should have wound up together. They promised us that in freaking season
4
of
season
the
finale.
It was the last episode of season 4 of the originals, or season 4 of the Vampire Diaries. They promised us they'd end up together, and then I'm cranky.
And then
Which
all we
was
get
so
is
cute.
like however long it takes, and then it's like, oh yeah, until you die, whenever that is, Caroline. Maybe I'll see you on the other side.
There is no other side.
Oh, well, not the other. You know what I mean, though. Like not the other side, but like the
actual other
thing.
side, afterlife. Oh, my foot is like.
If Klaus doesn't end up there, I'm gonna rage quit.
Klaus and Caroline should have ended up together. Change my fucking mind.
I already agree
Like
with
it
this.
didn't even have to happen on screen. It could have happened off screen, and we would have been satisfied knowing that it had occurred.
Happened. Yeah,
it's fine. But no, they. Elijah could have died. I'm fine with that.
They actually address it too. They address it because they have Caroline say bye to him.
I'm ready to be irritated with you guys.
Yeah, no, you're gonna.
Yeah. Okay, but
anyways, this book.
The book.
So
Elena is a vampy vamp.
Yes, no new characters.
And Elena is sired to. She's not sired to Damon, but she's.
She's initially sired to.
Yeah, until she gets her memories back.
I think that's where they decided to do the sire storyline. They're like, oh, this is the kind of thing that was never explored. Let's explore it.
Was fucking irritating. I was so irritated the entire fucking time because they had sex and at the same time they cut it in with Stefan and Caroline being like, oh, she's sired. I figured it out beforehand, but I was still fucking angry because I was like, all I want is for Damon to be fucking happy. I'm fine. I'm really fine. I'm not, but I'm fine. I'm a Damon stan.
It's okay. It's fine. It all ends up for the better. It's
yeah. Like I know they end up together, so it's fine.
It's fine.
Whatever.
Until she gets like upset and leaves the show.
Yeah. Oh well, no. Like I'm saying like until they like she's like I don't want to be human anymore. He's like, but I like being a vampire, but I want to be with you. So I guess I'll become human too. It's fine until then. I don't. Sorry, I don't like the whole cure thing. Human Damon just doesn't make sense to me. That's all.
No, human Damon is not okay. You can't just put Damon's character through a meat grinder. It's not alright with me.
No. I just can't wait till Addie gets to the Gemini Coven twin storyline.
Honestly, past like Damon and Bonnie, that part of the show, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's all downhill from there.
Yep. You know which storyline I'm talking about? Like the specific one?
Yeah. That's the start of that storyline, and that is amazing. It's so good, and then it is so bad. It's all downhill from there.
Yay!
Yep. Okay, so
season we're past the good part of the show.
Yeah.
Yay.
Also, last book, I think it was where I mentioned that. Okay, in the audiobook it's pronounced Alaric, and it's kind of jarring because the show's Alaric. So either pronunciation will do for the duration of the stream.
We're gonna call him Alaric.
Yeah. No.
Yes. But mentioned last stream that him and Meredith are gonna end up together. I thought maybe he was gonna be a decent human being and wait till after she graduated. No, we get so I think something's going on there, but Meredith said she's gonna wait till she's 18 before she talks to me about it.
Yeah, because they were like seeing each other, and like she was going to see him like after school every day.
He is older than what he told us last book as well.
Yeah.
because not only like last book he's like, oh yeah, I just graduated from college and I am now a teacher, you know.
No, but
No,
he's a whole ass like psychologist.
who has been doing research for years because him and Meredith actually met like 3 years before this.
Yeah.
So he's almost 30, if not 30.
Yeah.
And she's 17.
It's fine.
Is that inappropriate? Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, unless he was doing psychologist level, like experimental psychologist level research, you know, as a freshman, he's like, he's like 30. And it was bad enough when we thought he was 22. Like, that age gap is fine if she's 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hell, even 20. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, a 20 can date a 32-year-old. It's fine. A 17-year-old and a between 28 to 30-year-old, not so
Weird.
fine.
No.
It's really bad.
Really bad.
I can see why LJ might have thought it's appropriate considering Stefan's like 550 years old.
It's different somehow.
But it's different because he's physically like 17.
And I think also part of it is that we can't actually
Conceptualize
fathom
that.
someone living beyond like 100 or like 120. And so when you're like, oh, this person's like 165 years old, we're like, what?
Well, I guess
Well,
they're 17. Okay.
And so our
Well,
brains
also, like,
the idea that they look like 20 something, and we're like, I'm gonna go with that.
yeah, well, also, like, most vampire lore, even if it's not explicitly stated, the oldest fuck love interest vampire person is also emotionally the age that they look generally.
Yeah.
So it's not like it, like, yes, while the guy might be like, we'll talk about Edward and Bella in this example, right? Edward's like 100 years old, but he's still mentally a 17-year-old who's just lived 100 years.
And that's
Yeah.
actually said in text.
Yeah. That's why like vampire children are like a no-go, because you got a fucking like strong as all hell child chucking a tantrum. It's not good for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is like, Edward's a creepy old man. No, like he's
Mentally.
a 17-year-old who has just lived 100 years.
Yeah.
Because that's where he's at emotionally, like mental, emotional maturity, all that. He's not being creepy. He's not a predator.
No.
Whereas an adult 30-year-old banging a 17-year-old, kind of predatory.
Yeah.
Even if he's not meaning to be.
Yeah, like Damon doesn't act like a 50-year-old.
No. Damon acts like a freaking
Damon acts like Damon.
He kind of acts like a depending on his mood, a psychotic frat boy.
Yeah.
Which,
How old was Damon when he was turned?
Yeah, I need to know this.
University aged.
So like 18 to 22.
I think it was about 2021.
Cool, because by the end of the show, Damon looks 40.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, Ian was like, you know, I think in his late 20s when they started filming.
Damon Salvatore is 25.
Okay, so that's the show, Damon. In the book, he was like university age because he just dropped out of university.
Stefan is 20. I think Stefan is 17.
Stefan was 17.
They have a pretty big age gap between them. I know that in the show.
Yeah, because in the show, baby Stefan is actually shown as like a different actor, whereas they just kind of use makeup to age down Ian. And they use a different actor for Stefan.
Yeah, I think there's like about a 7-year age gap between them.
I'm trying to find it in the books.
Yeah, in the books, I know that Damon comes home because he drops out of university.
Yeah.
And then he gets turned within I don't know how long she's there for. I think it's like over the summer or something. So it's
Mhm.
only a few months later that he gets turned at most. So he's between 18 to 22 ish, depending on how
Mhm.
old you are when you went to uni back then.
Yeah.
How old? Wait, how old were you at university in Renaissance Italy?
Students often entered some universities between 14 and 15, though many were older.
I would imagine that she's probably using today's standards
Mhm.
for
It
his
was,
age.
well, they say 14, 15 sometimes. It was usually probably around 16 to 18, depending on the family and
Yeah.
depending on. I mean, Renaissance Italy is like not really a good way to ask the question because it's a complicated question. Because you would be asking more like where, like were they in Florence? Were they in Venice? Were they in like Milan?
Yeah.
It's going to vary on place. It's going to vary on university. It's going to vary on social class, like within social class. It's going to vary on how long they were in university for and like what they were going to university for. And it's just
Yeah.
all the things.
Because we also never learned, like, I don't think we were ever actually told as well what he went to university to
Yeah.
study.
Yeah.
Haven't been yet, at least.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
but
if you were in university, and you were specifically doing like theology stuff, then you would have been in there for a really long time. And like other stuff, maybe not as long. It also would have depended on what kind of tutors you had beforehand. Because if you had tutors at home, you might have gone later. Or depending on the tutors you had, you might have gone earlier. Like because your tutors might have been good enough that you didn't have to go early, or your tutors might have been good enough that like you could have gotten in early.
Yeah.
So, what age did you go to university? Yes.
He's
So-
at least 18. We know that.
yeah, I think they're much closer in age in this series,
Yeah.
like in the books. And he masquerades as a college student, so he at least looks college aged.
Yes.
What?
Scandalous things are happening. That's all you need to know.
Something
But anyway,
something that shouldn't have been read by other people.
well, I didn't read it. She didn't let me read it. But so I guess the broad historical answer is that this was a time before things were standardized.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, not true.
there's no good answer.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, things aren't really standardized until like now-ish.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fuck.
I
was reading.
Talking about this all night. Everybody, stop me. Continue.
Yes. Because we haven't even actually started talking about the plot, other than she's done a vampire vamp. So Elena wakes up and she hears like the scuffle between Damon and Stefan, and she's like, "Aha, a fight!" So then she runs.
Yes.
And she gets there and she's like, "That's the nice one and that's the mean one. I'm gonna stop the mean one." And we're in our heads, we're thinking, "Oh well, the nice one's Stefan and the mean one's Damon." No,
But
it's
it's
the other
not.
way around.
Yeah.
And so then she almost kills Stefan for
Yeah.
hurting her boo. And Damon's like, "No!" And she's like, "Why? Why not, Damon?" And he's like, and they're all like, "Do you not know who that is?" And she's like, "He was hurting you. He's mean. He has to die." And then she starts to try and remember what's happened, but every memory that involves Stefan, she just kind of can't.
Yeah.
And then Damon's like, "Look, I'm gonna take her elsewhere now, and we'll see how she feels when she wakes up."
Yeah. But first she's like, wait, how does it go? Oh yeah, Damon's like, wait, I thought you were dead. Like, do you know who I am? And she's like, yeah, of course, Damon, I love you.
That's right.
Real quick, did we talk last once we met about how she kind of turns the same way that she turns in the show?
No.
By falling in the
Yeah, off the Wickery Bridge in a car crash.
That damn bridge.
Yep.
That damn bridge, indeed.
And then also in the show as well, they expanded it, and that's how she almost died the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. If we did, it was only like briefly touched on because you guys also didn't click that that's where she turns.
Yeah, we didn't realize it till post fact.
Also, is this the first book that actually explicitly says the word vampire? I don't think
the
other
first one
books
says it.
Well,
oh, okay.
They're called the Vampire Diaries. So no, it's.
You're a bitch.
Damn.
I'm so sorry about that.
I love you, but don't be mean to me.
I know, that was mean, and I'm. Because you know what? I don't know. You might. Did the last one say it?
I don't know if the last one said it.
I don't think the last book said it, but I know that the first one definitely did.
Because you're not wrong. Kind of an odd choice to have a book about vampires and just not fucking talk about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for a book that is about vampires, like, she goes, it's like she's literally gone out of her way to avoid using the word.
Yeah. I think she says it in her diary. I think it might be last book, but like.
Which, you know what? I know that we complimented Lilith St. Crow on her creative use of whatever.
On her creative use of names for species.
But I'm not gonna lie.
Until she got to vampire.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I think I much prefer books that just kind of are like, fuck it, they're goddamn vampires, okay? Because it's so much easier. Like,
let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah, like, I have to learn your lore, which is going to be different from all the other lore because you think you're creative, which is cute for you. I love that for you. But can we just name it the thing that it is, for fuck's sake? Like, just call it a goddamn werewolf. Why is it a wolf? Like, shut up.
And don't change the spelling of vampire, PC, and Christian cast.
They're not even vampires. They don't even have pointy teeth.
A vampire. It's a vampire.
Like, I'm sorry. If it's a half vampire, just call it a fucking half vampire. I get what they did in Vampire Academy because it's all like Russian and shit. And that's like what the Russians call them.
But also they explicitly state, like, look, they're both vampires, but there's two different species of them.
And so, like, bitching about this, is that completely guilty of it?
Ha, it's fine.
So Damon takes, what, does he take her anywhere special first?
No, yes. He just...
Yeah, they end up back at the crash site thing.
They go to the graveyard.
Oh, okay. I thought they were near the bridge first, because they see everyone.
They go over the good bridge, like the
new bridge.
The new bridge. And then he's like, all right, stay in the graveyard. And she's like, fuck you, I'm going to go check on my house. And so she goes like to her old house, sees Aunt Judith like crying, overhears her and Robert breaking up essentially. And then Damon shows up and he's like, what the fuck? I told you to stay fucking, come on.
Yeah, but before that, I'm pretty sure they go to the old bridge first and everything, because then that's where Bonnie and Marion
were like,
but her body was here, we saw her, she's dead.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, but where's her body now? And they're like, I don't know, but Stefan said he was going to leave it under the bridge. Oh, sorry, under the tree. And they're like, well, where's Stefan? They're like, I don't know. So they're all just like, no one knows what the fuck's happening. Because they've got two hysterical girls saying, she's dead, but there's no body to be found.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Yeah, she goes to. I think she gets something to eat, and then she goes home.
Yeah, wait, they haven't gone. Oh no. So when Damon shows up and she's home, Stefan's also there and they're like, "Yo, you need to feed. Let's go to the school." Is that a nail oil pen I see?
Yes. I've had these for ages, but I've been waiting for my oil to get here, and then I cleaned out the bathroom cabinet the other day and found like a bottle of jojoba oil already, and I was like, "Oh, well, I don't need to sit around waiting. Like I've been waiting for like a month for this shit to
Yeah,
arrive
no,
from the UK, and because I was like, well, I can find like the cheapest. You would think that locally sourced jojoba would be cheaper than importing it from the UK. No, it's not apparently. But I found a bottle in there, so I was like, oh well, I guess I'll just start now then.
Yay!
I've started it on. I've started doing it to my daughter too because she gets like those, like really, she picks at the sides of her finger, so she's happy with it. She was like, "It doesn't make my nails pretty." I'm like, "Yes, it does. Yes, it does make your
Yay!
nails pretty."
Yeah,
I'm doing it on my toenails too because my toenails are always like dry and hard as fuck.
my
So I'm like,
toenails have started like fraying, which they've never done that before. So I started
yeah,
toenails too.
like it's not for my toenail cuticles. Like they're fine. Like they're awesome. They're amazing. But like the nails themselves are just fucked. So
But like, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I noticed it after like 30 to 45 days. I looked at my nails and I was like,
It's drastically
I
different.
was like, are my cuticles perfect now? My cuticles are perfect now.
Yeah. So then they go to school. They meet up at school and they find Matt. Good old Matt. Because just like in the show, he's the first one she feeds off of.
yeah,
That works.
at least there was none of this. I have to drink it. I couldn't stand the phrasing because they always use the exact same phrasing from it. It has to be from the vein. I have to drink
Yeah.
it straight from the vein.
They kept saying that and I was like, yo, let's
I'm sick of hearing from the vein.
yeah. Um
Also, everything is heightened.
um But first, so like Stefan's like, "Hey Matt, have you ever wondered why I'm fucking weird?" And Matt's like, "Not really. Why are you saying things like this to me?" And he's like, "Well, do you want to help Elena?" And Matt's like, "Of course. I'm cucked. Like, of course I want to help Elena." Um, uh,
Literally exactly what he says. Direct quote.
and he's like, "All right, well, let's go." And so he's like, "All right, well, Elena needs to feed off you." And he's like, "What the fuck? Okay, you know what? Fuck it.
He's like, yeah,
Let's do
Elena
it."
can suck my dick. That sounds like a time.
And she's like, "Oh no, no, sweetie." And so she does the sucky sucky, bloody bloody. Yeah, no, no. Matt is strictly friend zone now. I feel like. And so Stefan takes him away after, and they find the bodies of like Tyler and his crew from last book. They're not dead. They're just
Yep. Oh, and he
fucked
didn't
up.
feed off of Caroline.
No, he did not. Oh, and this is when you were right about the order. This is when she goes home to see
Yep.
Judith and Robert.
Yep. And so Stefan compels everyone to forget that it was him that did a bitey bite. Is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know that Aunt Judith is going through like a tragedy as well right now.
Yes.
But although I guess he doesn't, because I was going to say, like, I feel like Robert gave in too easily. But also, though, it seems like he's been rocking up at the house like repeatedly throughout the rest of the book to wait
Yes.
until she's like not being stupid, and he's like, but for real, like. So I guess he didn't give up too easily. He's just like, I'm
No.
gonna give you space.
Yeah,
to
he's like, you're
calm
gonna change
down.
your mind. I'll be here when you're ready to change your mind.
And she's like,
And
it's not gonna happen. And he's like, well, fuck you, and storms out. But
yeah,
it's fine. He doesn't actually mean the fuck you.
no. And that's when Damon shows up, like, I fucking told you, stay put, come on. And so he takes her to where a lark is staying, and he's like, go in the attic, sleep. And 4 days later, she wakes up.
Yep.
um, and she reads her old diary to remember everything about Stefan.
Because Damon brought her old diary
Hmm.
because he couldn't find a good time to sneak into her house and get her old
Yeah, get
one.
her current one.
Oh, yeah. So then I think at one point she starts writing in her old diary again because it wasn't full, it was taken. So she still
Yeah.
has the pages. Um, yeah, and she's horrified. She's like, Stefan, how could I have ever forgotten you? Can thou art ever forgive me? Without, like, and she's like, literally, like, it's like the way it's written, it sounds like she's saying it out loud to an empty room.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, sorry, the thou art thing just reminded me of the Shakespearean translator thing. What was the phrasing for vomit again? Because it was amazing.
English to Shakespearean. Heave the gorge.
Heave the gorge. That's it. Yeah, no, for real. Next time I kind of want to get a stomach bug now, so I can refer to it as heaving the gorge.
You can yell that dramatically throughout your house.
Make way, I must heave the gorge.
And your children are like, Mom, what the heck? And you're just like, don't worry about it, children. I must heave.
Make them stand outside the bathroom, like, for moral support, going, and heave.
Ho. One of them goes heave, the other one goes ho.
Yeah. It's a group effort.
And the thing is, I think I could actually make that happen. Like I don't. They'd both be saying both words though.
And
But I don't think I would let them.
Ho heave, ho
Yeah,
heave,
like
ho.
like I could get her to say it, and then he would want to just be a part of it. So then he'd start saying it, but he would have no idea what's going on. And then I feel like Sixie would walk in and go, "But why?"
Sixie would be like, you went through all this just to get the children to say heave ho
Like,
outside the bathroom door.
Like, you managed to stave off what was it called?
What?
The vomiting.
Heaving the gorge?
Heaving the
You
gorge.
managed to stave off, I'm sorry, heaving the what now? Long enough to coordinate this and it didn't even go, okay.
Yes.
And then he'd just be like, have fucking fun.
Yeah. No, he would take
Yep.
the children away. He would be like,
Yeah, no.
He'd be like, I'm gonna take my offspring and you have fun vomiting. Goodbye.
And you're like, at least refer to it by its real name.
Yeah.
And then I would get in trouble.
Barbecue squirrel.
What?
So there was a thing on it was Instagram.
It's Facebook.
Okay, on Facebook that was like, it was like somebody texting their girlfriend and the baby girl was autocorrected to barbecue squirrel. And
That's amazing.
I texted people and I was like, you have to refer to me as barbecue squirrel from now on. And he was like,
He was not happy.
He was like, okay, barbecue squirrel. And I was like, thank you so much for referring to me as barbecue. And he was like, yeah, just kidding. That's never going to happen again. And now Siri calls me barbecue squirrel because at least Siri loves me.
At least Siri treats you with the respect you deserve.
Thank you.
Siri's a good egg.
Yeah. Siri fucking listens to me.
I wonder if you
he's
can
watching
convince
right now.
Siri
Unlike
to.
people.
You know how like Siri doesn't like swears?
Yes.
We need to do an experiment to see if you can get Siri to refer to you as a swear.
You can.
Yeah.
You can?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've done
Okay,
it.
I haven't looked into it. I just thought about it. 'Cause I'm like,
You
Siri
can have
doesn't like...
Siri call you a fucking dumbass.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, for a long time
I-
in high school, my Siri called me double dumbass because that's what my mom would call me when I did something just like idiotic. She'd be like, "You're double dumbass." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm aware. Thanks, mom."
There was a guy that I went to school with. His name was Matt, but his nickname was Ted because his grandfather used to call him shithead. And then it got shortened, and then his entire family just called him Ted. So there was a guy whose entire family literally just only referred to him as shithead.
That's
kind of sad.
I mean,
It
if it's
is.
in a joking way.
But is it really?
My mom called me double dumbass jokingly. She never would seriously call me that.
But like, if she calls you it forever.
I mean, she refers to me and my dad as that still. I think we still think it's funny. I think it just depends on your family's like sense of humor.
Yeah. You know what though, double dumbass, like it there's enough ridiculousness
Yeah.
to the
That it's not
sentiment.
as serious.
Because if you're actually mad at someone, you don't call them a double dumbass.
No. No.
Whereas
You fucking ass.
if you have to call someone a shithead so much that you get lazy, and you're like, I can't.
But was he
I-
a
I-
shithead?
I don't know. I probably should know because, you know, I grew up on the same street as him, like 5 houses away from him. But I don't know. I feel like though his pop was probably like an old school true blue kind of Aussie guy and shit, in which case it was probably a term of endearment more than
Yeah.
an
Oh,
insult.
yeah, that's right. You guys are Australian.
Yeah, because also if some random stranger at the pub calls you mate, you better run because you're about to get your head kicked in.
Mm.
Whereas if they call you the C-bomb, he's about to buy you a round of drinks.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah,
we
if someone
opposite
calls
a
you
lot.
shithead in Australia, you're fine.
Yeah, like, but yeah, most of our stuff is opposite. Like a nickname for redheaded people in the US, it's red, right? Here it's blue.
Huh.
And it's very common for a blue cattle dog to be called red and a red cattle dog to be called blue. We switch things up because we're upside down, you know. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So it's her memorial service now, and she gets to her memorial service, and
Yes.
she's like watching it happen. And she's like, all these people that didn't fucking know me are just like, she was the queen. Oh my god, we loved Elena, and she's just like,
that's it. The chick that did refer to Elena as the true queen, though, Elena was like, well, that's kind of touching actually, because I didn't mind her. But then Meredith gets up.
yep.
And she's not crying. She's fine. And then she's like, we used to do a thing at a place. And Elena's like, that's literally not how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, heh. And she's like, how the fuck would Meredith, like, and then she works out, Meredith's sending her a message like, hey, meet me at the real time and place where we did the thing.
Yeah.
And she's just like, how the fuck, like, why, how does Meredith know I'm not dead?
Yeah.
How?
She's like, oh, well, Stefan must have told her. But Bonnie doesn't know because Bonnie gets up and she's a fucking wreck. And then she gets like witch
psychic,
episode.
right?
Yeah, she gets a witch episode saying like no one is what they appear. Don't trust anyone.
Yep. And then everyone's like, well, that was fucking weird. And
Mhm.
then they're like, okay, I guess let's all go outside now.
Yeah.
And there's a pack of dogs. Everyone's pet dog. Everyone in town's pet dog is
It's
out
just
the front
here.
of the church.
Yeah. They just brought it and they just left it outside.
And the dogs are just like not moving, not twitching, not doing anything. They're just looking at one guy. I think it's the same guy that referred to Elena as the true queen. I think it's her brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, puppy
Puppies?
dog. Like, I can't remember his dog's name, but he's like, hi, the dog of mine.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing? And she's like, "Rrr," and he's like, that's not nice. Come here. And she's like, "Rrr," and then they all pounce and rip him to
Yeah.
shreds.
Yeah,
He
and
survives. Somehow he survives being mauled by like 20 dogs.
it's, whatever, man. It's
One of
Stefan
whom is a
goes and saves it.
Rottweiler.
Yeah, Stefan goes down there and does something
Yeah,
to it.
about
We
half
don't
an
know
hour
what,
later.
but
Because Damon and Stefan and Elena are like up out of sight and they're watching it, and Elena's like, someone's got to do something because this ain't like, this is weird and shit's about to go down. And she's like, Damon, you got to do a thing. You're stronger than Stefan. And Damon's like, do I want it? Do I not? And then that's when the pouncing happens and Stefan like goes down and tries to break it up. But like this guy has been mauled by 20 dogs, one of whom is a Rottweiler. There's an Irish wolfhound mauling him. Like big, like they're not. He's not being mauled by a pack of chihuahuas.
which even so, that's terrifying.
Yeah, which even so, you don't want to be mauled by a pack.
Yeah, but like again, somehow the guy freaking survives and he's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I don't buy that, but it's fine.
Meanwhile, Damon is very grr at the fact that she has her memories back and that she's like, "Oh, Stefan, I love you," and Damon's just like, "Can we fucking not with this shit? Like, fuck off, everyone." But he does agree to go help, and then real help shows up.
Yeah, and then so Stefan comes back, and he's like, "Okay, let's leave town now." And Elaine, like, just the two of us, and Elena's like, how about the three of us stay and help? And Stefan's like, wait, what? And Damon's like, she wants to hang out with me too, bro. And Stefan's like, tell him no. And she's like, but I can't. So he's getting Catherine flashbacks. Poor freaking Stefan.
Yeah.
Because he had Catherine first as well. Like, him and Catherine had already been hanging out, and then Damon comes home.
Yeah.
And then it's suddenly a non-consensual threesome.
Yeah.
And he feels like history is repeating itself.
Yeah, and Stefan's like, "Oh, so you choose both of us." And she's like, "No, just for Stefan, you're the one, but like for right now, the three of us need to work together to figure out because we all feel something weird in the Force, and we need to figure it out and defeat it."
Yeah, so Elena's like effectively like, no, I choose one of you, but as co-workers, I choose both of you.
And Stefan hits her with the, well, it doesn't matter because you just always get what you want. Which I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
So she goes to Meredith's. That's that conversation. Yep. She goes to Meredith. And Meredith's like, okay, so I had my suspicions about vampires, but now they're confirmed. Dope. Also Bonnie's downstairs. Should we And so Bonnie's all like fucking excited. And
yeah, like I'm kind of glad that they explained like that like Meredith's grandfather, his story is a thing. Because otherwise, like her working out vampires, it's like, really? So some weird shit started happening, and your first thought was vampires?
Yeah. And Bonnie's just so excited, and like Meredith and Elena are like, you understand what this means, right? This means like she's a vampire. Like it's not fun, it's not exciting. She wants to suck your blood, and then they all cry, and yeah. And then they also recap the entire story to this point.
Yeah. And because also at the church as well, Elena's like, I don't think it was Damon that put you in a well, and Damon's like, yeah, no, I'm like, why the fuck would I put him in a well? Like that makes zero sense.
Yeah, the only atrocity he did was killing Mr. Tanner.
Yeah, he killed Mr. Tanner. He attacked the old man as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because that was before. Because because other than Mr. Tanner dying, everything that happened after Stefan and Elena, after Tyler started tried to rape her, everything except for Mr. Tanner after that point was Catherine.
Yeah. And we also get catch up like, how's everyone else doing? They're like, well, Matt's acting weird, Caroline's sad, Tyler and Co survived. Bonnie still wants that Damon dick, and Elena's like, step off. They're both my dicks now, so,
And
and
then
they
she's
make a
like,
list
well,
of
what about,
subjects.
yeah, and then she's like, well, what about Alaric and Meredith? And they're like, no, that, like, he might be evil.
Yeah.
And she's like,
And Bonnie's like, what?
why didn't I ever get to have a dick?
Yeah, and Meredith just goes, because life's not fucking fair, Bonnie. Now shut up. And so she's like, so Elena's like, all right, it's blood hunger time. I'm gonna leave so I don't murder you people. And Damon and Stefan are there, and they're like, all right, well, let's hunt for animals now. And much to Damon's chagrin, he's just like, I am not here
So
for
not
this.
down for this.
Yeah, he's like, no, let's go get a real dinner. And Stefan's like, no, we don't do that.
We're good boys and
Only
girl.
kosher food in this household.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
So then we're back at school. Stefan is hanging out with Bonnie, and they're gonna spy on Alaric. And we're having a dance on Friday. By the way, it's just like the show. There's just dances always.
Even when they get to college, they're still dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, one of the high school dances gave me like my favorite like 2 seconds of the show, where like it epitomized like how crushworthy Paul Wesley is, when he friggin' like swing dances Elena for like 2 seconds, and then he's like, yeah, that's never happening again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's not Polish, but it'll do. I really wish they got him to speak Polish on the show. I really wish they had. even literally as even any other of the doppelgangers, like they couldn't have gotten a freaking like Polish doppelganger in there just for like a minute. But I'm mad. Okay, leave me alone. Carry on.
And this is when we go to the diary, and she's like, Damon just wants me to forget my old life and embrace the new one, but I'm so frightened, I'm so scared, and that's really it.
She's such a drama queen.
Yeah, fucking right. And
Her diary's like a soap opera. Sorry,
yeah,
carry on.
right. Alaric wants to see Bonnie and Caroline after class, so Stefan's like, all right, I'll wait for you outside. Hey, Matt, how you doing? And Matt's like, fucking don't speak to me, goodbye.
It just occurred to me. The way, you're gonna refer, like, you know how like we refer to like different series as like movies, episodic, like it feels more like each book feels like an episode of a season or a season in and of itself, etc. This series is a soap opera.
Yeah.
And if you think of it from that perspective, it makes a lot more sense with how little happens, but how dramatic it all is.
I agree.
But yeah, sorry, carry on. Where are we at?
So Alaric is having another party.
Of course he is, because it's Alaric.
And so Bonnie comes out, and Stefan's like, oh, we're supposed to be
We didn't
Meredith.
talk about his thingy. So when Elena woke up after her 4-day snoozer-doodle, she's in his attic, and she goes to like be like, I guess I should try and sneak out or something. I don't know. Like, and then she overhears Alaric talking. He's like, they're probably at their lair. I'm gonna do a thing and try and find them. And she's like, who the fuck is he talking to? He's talking to the principal and the town's doctor.
Yes.
And they're all like, we need to kill these fuckers, and like it's a thing. And she's like, he's out to get me. So,
yeah.
So we don't trust Alaric right now.
Yeah. No, we don't. But Alaric's Alaric.
Yeah.
And
he's shady until we find out his motives, and then he's fine.
Yeah, then he's fine. But Meredith is acting real sketchy. She's like lying to them about where she was.
To him.
Yeah, and then we jump to Bonnie doing witch stuff with Elena and Meredith doing like a general future reading thing of like, you know, like what we have to worry about with this a big evil thing. And all we find out is that they need to stick together and they need a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's that. Elena is depressed about school and asks Bonnie to read her palm again. And all we get from that is, oh, your lifeline is short. And it's like, oh, yeah. And Meredith, I think it's Meredith, like, well, yeah, because you already fucking died. Like, what?
Oh, and the he's short but he was tall once thing actually
Yeah.
makes sense this book.
Yes.
I actually kind of liked that like the one that was called back to and explained. And I was like, actually, that makes sense.
That's what we said too.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
he
He was once tall, yeah.
because back in
Comparatively speaking, yes, it makes
because in
sense. He's
Renaissance Italy, Stefan actually would have been tall. But now that we are not in Renaissance Italy anymore, Stefan is no longer a tall boy.
No.
And I was like,
Clever.
hey,
That's clever.
thanks, sir.
Um,
Look at that. I was like,
yeah, like LJ manages to sneak little nuggets in there,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Then,
you couldn't have like
you couldn't have written a book?
right?
Sorry.
Like,
like
That was
she's good at the nuggets.
she is good at the nuggets. So now she's going to go investigate Robert. And she, like, he's leaving as she gets there. And then we have the weird thing with Margaret,
Oh, I will
the little
say,
child.
because I will say this is the scene that I pegged both the owl and the cat as Catherine, because I knew that Catherine was coming.
Yeah.
But this was like the third reference of an owl in the book, and and they were all like, a white owl, white owl, white owl, and then Snowball walks into the room and she's a little white kitten, and I'm like, bet you the kitten's Catherine too,
Mm-hmm.
betcha. And then
So Catherine can turn into 3 animals.
yeah, well, 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a kitten's just a small tiger. But,
Yeah, because she turns into she turns into a tiger later, which is like, oh, okay then. Has no, Damon's thing hasn't happened yet, so that's fine.
No.
Because Damon has a second form as well that we discover this book.
mm-hmm. Then, yeah, so she sees the cat acting weird, and she's like, fuck, the cat's gonna, like, try
Do
to
what the
murder my
dogs do.
child sister. So she, like, bangs on the window to get Margaret to let her in. And then the cat escapes.
Yeah.
They have a little conversation.
Yeah, and she's like, you need to tell Aunt Judith to give Snowball away.
Mhm.
You can't tell anyone I spoke to you, blah, blah, blah. It's just our secret. I'll always love you.
I'm your guardian
etc.
angel.
Yeah. And and Margaret's
cute.
4, so she's like, okay, this sounds like a swell idea. Because she's
Oh,
4.
it was really sad, though, because she was like, I heard, like, Aunt Judith told me you went to go join Mommy and Daddy. Can I come? And I was like, no. And
No,
Elena was
you
like,
can't.
no. Elena was like, no, don't die.
You can't see Mummy and Daddy for a very long time, Margaret, okay?
Someone's got to live in this fucking family, okay? So we run into Stefan next. We have a little talk about time, and he's like, yeah, we got all the time in the world. And she's like, oh, God, I love you. And she's like, I love you. And then Stefan is like, Meredith is sketchy. She's meeting with a lark behind our backs. And Elena's like, that's weird.
No, Meredith just wants dick. It's fine.
Yeah, no, she just wants that teacher cock.
It's all good.
That's not the word that I meant to come out of my mouth. I really meant to just say dick, and then my brain was like, let's be aggressive for no reason. I can't control myself, apparently.
How are you doing?
No.
Huh?
You doing okay over there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
So no one from their list is being unusual. It's a lark's party tonight. The mortals are asking the vampires to like hide upstairs.
Yep.
To like listen to the party.
Yeah, and Stefan her Elena and Damon getting there. Stefan's like, Caroline texted me and she wants to apologize, so I'm gonna go and meet up with her and then I'll see you there.
Yeah. And she's like, nothing weird about that, okay. So Damon starts flirting with her, and then
also, sorry, earlier in the week as well, Alaric got Vicky, Bonnie, and Caroline. And was like, I want to try and help. Like, their history teacher is like, I want to hypnotize you to try and help you deal with your emotions.
Because
you've been through a lot.
Who would say yes?
Like, okay, even if hypothetically, if high schools had psychology teachers and your psychology teacher was like, hey, you've had a rough time, I want to hypnotize you, you'd still be a little bit like,
I
No.
wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't even do that with a college professor.
No, yeah,
That's kind of
no.
inappropriate for your
Um,
professor to be
yeah,
hypnotizing you.
that's a little weird. I'm trying to think because I know at my old school they like psych seniors would have to do like trials essentially where they run their own like psychological study. And I know some of them include hypnosis, but it's like
Oh,
student to student.
yeah, that's different. That's like
Yeah,
that's like a practical part of your course.
yeah.
Whereas, like, I
A
mean, like
professor just being like, "Hey,
yeah, like if like
would you like?"
most, like, and also like a lot of psychology professors also, still practice and they do see students, but they rarely see their own students
Yeah,
because
they
that's a
typically
conflict of
conflict of
interest.
interest.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, so I could see a psychology professor saying, hey, you've been through a lot. Do you want some numbers?
yeah. Like we have counseling on campus, like.
Or I've got connections to actual psychologists if you actually need beyond counseling,
Mhm.
etc. Like, here is resources that are not me.
Yeah.
But your high school history teacher offering to hypnotize you.
I would have said no. My parents would have said no. I mean, like the school would have said no.
Well, it
But
didn't
also,
require
this is
parental consent, even though it should have.
Also true.
yeah. But also for the second time in like a month, because we're still in November, or
Yeah.
we might be in early December now. I don't know. But
Oh
like
yeah,
we're
it's like
still like
December 4th now. No, it's
so
it's December 12th.
no that the book. Oh no, yeah, the book ends on the 16th. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like we're less than a month from his first student party at his residence, and now he's
Also a
offering to
month after his first
hypnotize.
day teaching.
Yes, and yeah, his first day teaching is also the anniversary of his first freaking student party. Um, and now he's hypnotizing students and hosting another student party.
Yeah.
Like, and I
It's fine.
get that the principal's in on why he's really there, but why
But
are the parents not
parents.
objecting?
Yeah.
Like if like when my kids are in school, if like one of the teachers is like, "Hey, we're having a party, plus I want to hypnotize you," I'd be like,
Get the fuck away from my kids.
I would be okay, if here I would be reporting them to the Department of Education. There it would be the local school board, whatever.
Yeah.
You'd be reporting the teacher. It's inappropriate. But also, the series is set in 1991.
Yes, it is.
Confirmed.
Yes. We have a year at the end of this book. So then Bonnie and Meredith come upstairs and they're like, "Yo, what's up, guys?" And then a lark shows up with a gun in his hand. And Damon disarms him. Meredith is like, "No, I've been convincing a lark that y'all are fine. Like, stop. You're not like I've been working on this."
And they're like, you
Um,
know what's helpful? If you let us in so we're aware, and B, if he doesn't bring a fucking gun upstairs.
yeah, because there's wooden bullets in it. Damon discovers as he's like emptying out the
Chamber.
words. And so we have a powwow. And like we discuss what's and they're like, "No, well, Lark's cool, like we're fine." And he's like, "But wait, where's Stefan?" And they're like, "Oh, Stefan's at the school." And he's like, "Fucking no, 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 no. I hypnotized Caroline. This is not good. We need to get fucking over there right now."
Yeah, he's like, she remembers that he was there. So they're like, because also he explains, I'm actually psychology like experimental psychologist who studies vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And also like the way that the supernatural affects
Your
people's-
mind state. Yeah.
your, like,
Yeah.
mental state. And
yeah, because he's never actually met a vampire yet until
Yeah.
now.
So Damon yeets. Elena's like, "You can fly there, so go. We'll all meet you there." And so they all meet there.
Yeah, Damon, like, so Elena's running, the others are driving.
And
Damon starts running, and Elena's like, "No, fly, motherfucker, fly." So he flies, and he only gets there about 10 seconds before everyone else anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think he saved much time. But
doesn't matter.
Stefan's tied up.
Yes.
Yes, and like all the fathers are like Tyler's father, Caroline's father, the fathers of the other boys. They're all there, and they're about to kill him.
Yeah. They have their guns.
Yep. And Damon doesn't turn into Damon. He turns into a wolf.
Yeah.
And he was like, grr, and they're like, ah, wolf, hello. And then everyone's like, no, you can't hurt him. Does Elena even show her face when she gets there?
She just disarms one guy and then hides.
That's right. And then, because then all the others get there. So literally, like, they don't take much time. And Alaric's like, no, you had the wrong guy. And they're like, but Caroline saw, and she's like stopping. And she's like, they said they just wanted to talk to him. And it's like, really? Like, you said that he's the one that almost killed like 6 guys. Like, and you think that their fathers just want to talk to him?
Yeah.
And Alaric's like, are you sure? What about Damon Smith?
Fucking Damon Smith.
And then Meredith's like, yeah, they look very similar. And they're like, are you sure, Caroline? And she's like, I don't know. And then they're like, okay, fine, I guess we'll just leave. So then they left.
Yeah. So the dad's just yeet. It's fine.
Yeah, not even a soz.
Yeah, just we're getting on our cars and we're leaving. But now Alaric is on our team.
Because also Stefan's been alibied out because he was with Meredith and Bonnie on the other side of town.
Yeah, when
it occurred, but still was him. But he has super speed. He's vampire, so it's fine. Like, he made it, but not a human couldn't.
No. So we get the story of like how he started and everything. Meredith is involved because her grandfather was attacked by a vampire, and that's like why she realized that something was up with our crew. And so the vampires are like, all right, well, as soon as it's over, we're all fucking leaving town because shit, dude, this is not a safe place. And they also are like, oh, how's Matt doing? And they're like, oh, Matt's fucking bad, y'all.
Yep.
And so she goes to visit Matt. Elena does.
Yep. And he's like, so the thing I've been trying to block out for a week, it's true. And she's like, yes, it is. 'Tis true. And he's like, I love you, but I'm happy just being your friend. And she's like, I love you like a sister. And then does she eat him again?
Yes, she does.
I feel like she eats him again.
You can always just, and she's like, I don't really particularly wish to. And he's like, but I want you to. And so, yeah, she does a sucky, bloody.
Yeah, but he's fine now because like he's accepted it. He's fine. He's not fucked up anymore, so it's fine.
So now, it's December 13th. It's a Friday. It's the day of the dance.
Yes, it is. It's the day of the dance. And they're like, the other power is going to do a thing tonight.
Yes.
So they're like, well, we need to keep an eye on the dance then, don't we? And they're like, yes, let's keep an eye on the dance. So they're all planning on keeping an eye on the dance. And that's pretty much the next chapter.
And it's like 1 a.m. and they're like, nothing's fucking happened. And she refers to all these people as her loyal knights.
Because she's a queen. Caroline wins, the Snow Queen.
Yes, she does. Because Elena's not there. If Elena was there, she totally would have won Mara. Because Elena is the queen.
She is the queen. Yes.
Whatever.
So and then
Bonnie does her thing.
Yep. Oh, also, sorry. Points to LJ. December 13th, 1991 was a Friday.
Golf clap.
Wait, there we go. Friday. That almost never happens in a book.
No. No, it doesn't.
The date and day actually lines up.
It's really easy to do that, though. Especially now with computers, just pull out a fucking
Online, yeah.
just
Yeah.
Google it.
No, well done. I think she was like gonna like, you know, she had to have the Snow Queen thing, and she already knows the time of year, and then she was like, it's a Friday.
She's like, that's perfect.
Done.
So they get Bonnie to do her thing, and she's like, I don't fucking want to, but fine.
Leave it, sport Bonnie.
Yeah, like stop being a party pooper and wanting to fuck the villains. God. That's all she wants. So she gets taken over and starts like running down the hall. We end up at the graveyard in the Fell tomb. And it's like a jar.
It almost
Like
got diddled in.
the like tomb itself is like a jar where the body's supposed to be, but there's no body there. It's just like a door down into like nothingness.
Yep. And because let's be honest, that whole scene was a little bit haphazard when listening to it. So she even says, well, the door would explain why I felt a draft when I did the thing. So like when I touched it and it moved. And I think also Catherine must have been sealed in there, and Elena is the one that obviously released her because
Yeah.
no one else could budge it. But then when she touched it, that's when it shifted. So I imagine Catherine must have actually been sealed in there somehow. But this is also where we get the whole like crypt storyline in the show.
Yeah. So
They go downstairs.
yes.
And there's bones everywhere.
Yeah, there's bones everywhere, and then a witch takes over, like a fell witch takes over Bonnie's body, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Um,
And she's like, I am Honoria Fell. And the other power you seek came here some time ago and did a thing and destroyed my bones and made me sad.
Yeah.
And they've been blocking my efforts to reach you, etc., etc.
Yeah, and they're like, that's all we can tell you. Bye.
Yeah, she's like, you're
she wants about
on your
owls.
own now.
Yeah. And then she just fucking yeets. And the owl targets people Stefan loves.
Which does kind of explain where they get a lot of the first arc of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same.
But it's similar, because the thing under the church.
It's inspired by.
Loosely based on.
Very, 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 very loosely based.
Yeah, you can see the little bits of storyline where they got their inspiration for storylines for the show from.
Yeah, you can see where they went, okay, but like what if we didn't do that?
But we can take this one specific detail from it and we'll use that somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like the idea of a crypt.
Yeah, we do.
We'll have a crypt somewhere.
Yeah, they
done.
Put a pin in that.
Yeah, a Catherine crypt. That's all we need. Catherine crypt. Done.
Yeah. So there's like loud growling in there. And they're like, all right, get the mortals out of here. Well, the vampires will stay behind, all that stuff. And so there's a tiger fighting. And they're also, Elena the entire time is like, where the fuck is Damon?
Yeah. Oh, because I think they've run upstairs now as well. No, they haven't. Something happens and they get told about all the dogs going after.
Yeah, the dogs going to the high school. And just everywhere.
Yep, so Elena's like, mortals, go to the school and go to my family, because and Matt's
don't go to your
I
own
won't
families.
leave you.
Go to mine.
Well, it's because their families aren't going to be specific targets, though.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
And Matt's like, I won't leave you, and she's like, look, dude. Like, if we die, you got no chance, okay?
Yeah.
But you can go do something else.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So they do that thing. And now Damon in a wolf form is fighting the tiger, which is Catherine. Stefan's joining
And
the
the cat.
fight. If he dies, I die. Is
Yeah.
how Elena feels about that.
Damon's literally
Yeah.
getting shredded to the
Yeah,
bone.
Damon's getting fucked, dude. And there's like deep fog, and they all feel like they're falling. And then we see Katerina Petrova. That's not her name here, but that's her name for me.
Yes.
Doppelganger number 500.
Yeah, fucking right. So
Yeah.
all three are tied up, and she's yeah.
I didn't
Catherine's weird.
mind. I didn't mind what they did with Catherine in the book. Or well, what she did with Catherine in the book. I didn't mind it. It was weird, but I don't mind it. Like
She was weird. She was just real weird.
she was just effectively like, you two ruined all my plans. I only pretended to die so you would love each other, and instead you got mad and did a thing. You
You got
ruined my
mad
plans,
and
and then
murdered each other.
yes, and
Literally
then
murdered.
I was so cross with you, and I wanted you to suffer. So I brought you here to make you feel guilty, Stefan, to make you feel guilty. And I wanted you, Damon, to feel guilty too. But you weren't supposed to fall in love with that bitch. And
And
then
then
turn
give
into a
her
thing.
my fucking ring. So I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
you, Stefan. I'm gonna kill Elena. But Damon, you can kill Elena. Actually, I'll give you the right to kill Elena.
Yeah. Damon, I might let you live because I'm not as mad at you because I didn't love you as much.
Yeah.
So you can live because I don't love you as much as I love him.
So the thing from the show is, it's Stefan. It's
always
always gonna be Stefan.
Fucking kill me.
Poor Damon.
It'll always be Stefan.
We're also at the part in the show where fucking Tessa is like, oh no, Elena's meant to be with Stefan, you fucking dumbass. Damon, you're doomed. Doomed, Damon. And she was like, no, technically, Catherine's supposed to be with Stefan, and Elena's just supposed to be with some fucking other Stefan looking bitch. And I'm like, yeah, really though. Why are we packing in Elena with Stefan?
I don't.
Well, I was like, if you want to be real technical about it, it should be like the doppelgangers that were born closest together.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't even think Catherine and Stefan are supposed to be together because Catherine's like how many years older than Stefan?
That's right. There might be another one. There might be other ones that they're supposed to be with, quote unquote.
There's probably a current freaking. Oh, there is the paramedic dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That's who
Yeah, she
Elena's
already told
supposed
me
to
about
be
him.
with.
That's who Elena's supposed to be with.
The paramedic.
He's in Atlanta. He's right here.
Oh, and it makes sense as well because she wants to be a doctor.
Exactly.
If the vampires hadn't have shown up, right, she would have gone to college, become a doctor because she wanted to be a doctor.
Probably go to Emory for medical school.
And then she would have met him.
Atlanta Jason.
What's his name? Tom?
Jason? Tom. His name was Tom. What a boring name. It's almost like Matt.
Was it Tom?
It was.
Almost like Matt.
Okay. And they would have met. They would have like saved a bunch of lives. She would have been an ER doctor, and he would have had to it
would have been straight out of fucking Grey's Anatomy. The show would be Grey's Anatomy.
Elena was meant to be with Tom.
Change our minds. We ship it so hard. Fuck Stefan. Fuck Damon. We want Tom. Justice for Tom.
Justice for Tom.
Poor Tom.
Oh god.
He could have had something. He could have been something.
Yeah.
But instead,
Stefan had to get nosy.
God. But Damon's like, fuck you, Catherine. I'm not gonna kill Elena. And she gets mad. She does not like that. She does not like that at all.
No.
She's psycho.
Wait, didn't hear any of what you just said, Bae.
Catherine in the show is crazy. This Catherine is a different kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, this chick is like, okay. She is what at least Catherine should have been initially on the show because Catherine's been freaking like, just trapped in a crypt for 150 years.
Yeah.
Like she should be a little bit loopy, but she ain't when she comes out.
Well, Catherine wasn't in the tomb.
She was fucking around.
Oh, that's right. She wasn't. That's right.
She was
Forgot
just
about that.
living her best life running from Klaus.
That's right. I forgot about that bit.
In the tomb. She was like,
They thought she was, but she wasn't. Yeah.
Peace. Like,
Yeah. And then that's
Catherine's a fucking bitch. Both are narcissistic though. So like they had that in common.
yeah.
I do enjoy Catherine though, for the most part.
Yes. She is an enjoyable character. Not as enjoyable as OG Damon though. The longer the show goes on, the less I like.
Yeah, she's been warning me the entire time. They're gonna neuter his character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much the only way his character isn't neutered is with Bonnie. Like his relationship with Bonnie still has enough of that OG Damon in it that you're like, I dig. And I think that's probably why so many people enjoy their relationship so much.
I'm excited then.
You're gonna love
because it's one of those things where it's like, I'm only a douche to you because I love you, but like I'm the world's biggest douche to you kind of relationship.
Yeah. So Meredith is at Elena's house. They're doing their best. Everyone's doing their best to defend from the dogs, and then Elena's awake. Catherine's gone. Damon isn't responding because he's really fucked up.
Yeah, he ain't good.
And Catherine's back, and she's like, "Oh yes, I'm so excited to murder all of you." And then Elena breaks free, and she kills Catherine. Yeah,
because Catherine's got her own necklace. That's her own like little
daylight ring.
But she's got she's got their daylight rings and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no. And Elena's like, well, fuck, I'm fucked. And she's like, I don't actually have to beat her. I just need to get the necklace off of her.
Yeah.
So she, breaks free, tears the necklace off, and then like kind of like fights Catherine's ability to get into the shade.
Yeah.
And then she melts in the sun.
And then
Elena's too fucked. Yeah. And then Elena's too fucked to actually recover from her own sunlight exposure.
So Elena dies.
Our
main character is dead.
Yes. You're gonna hate this is how the series was like. It was supposed to end here. It was originally a trilogy, and this is how it was supposed to end.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it was supposed to just be this. This is done. And then they're like, write another one. So then she wrote another one, and then there was just series after that.
And so the boys put on their daylight rings and they ride off into the sunset together, except not. We're in Bonnie's diary now.
No, we're in Elena's diary.
But Bonnie has it.
And she's writing it. Okay, I have so many things to say about Bonnie's freaking diary entry.
I have one major thing to say about it. Why the fuck is she going to donate Elena's diary to the library?
Diaries, both of them, where everyone can read them, where it's explicitly stated in both diaries at this point that vampy vamps are a thing.
Like, fucking why?
I can understand, if she hadn't have written about, like, the vampire shit in that, like, I understand the sentiment of the idea.
Yeah.
Because she was the queen of the school, and, you know, she's dead now.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Bonnie,
you dumb bitch.
Bon.
You ain't that bright, Bon. And she even writes in the diary as well. I think that there's something going, because I feel like I should like wrap it up, because Elena would want me to tell the diary like everyone else, like everyone's happy endings, or like mediocre endings at this point, because it's like 2 days later. Meredith and Alaric have like sneaking around, but like Meredith won't disclose any information until she's 18 and graduated, and she wants to put this in the high school.
I'm like, you want Alaric to get arrested, bitch?
Like, what? Where are they? Are they in Virginia?
Virginia.
Okay, wait. I mean, he can still get arrested because teacher.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, nowhere in the country can you do a teacher,
No.
no matter what the age of consent is.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking up the age of consent in Virginia. It's 18 as well. So like there's two. I thought Virginia would have one of the lower ones because like
I
it
think
feels like
Georgia's
one
is
of those.
16.
Yeah, like
Georgia's 16.
more
I think,
conservative
conditional.
states
Yeah.
generally have a lower age of consent.
Yeah.
Which is weird, right? But they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think that they would be like the ones where it's like no consent till married, and then
You cannot have sex unless you're married, and if you do, you will go to jail. Yeah, you would think that's how the South would be, but
yeah,
they're
but
like,
they've
no,
got like
fuck
the
it's
lowest.
16.
Yeah, they've got the lowest age of consent, the more conservative states,
But
as a
like,
general rule.
But usually it's like
Still, don't do it with people like 18 and up.
or it's like a 2-year age gap or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, well, a lot of also the thing as well is a lot of states where, well, a lot of states in general have introduced Romeo and Juliet
Yeah, exactly.
clauses where if
If
you're
it's
under the age of consent, but your boyfriend's only a year and a half older than you type thing, it's fine.
or
It's
if it's like
fine.
you were dating before he turned 8 or she turned 18,
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine. Because, like an 18-year-old having sex with a 17-year-old who's going to be 18 in a week, it's not creepy. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. But Damon's left town. Stefan's going after him. Otherwise, everyone's pretty much like they're recovering,
Yep.
and they'll all be okay.
Yep. And Aunt Judith and Robert are back together. They're getting
They're-
married next year or something.
Yeah. Or at Christmas, I think.
Oh, okay, so they're getting married in a week then.
Yes.
Okay.
Because why not? You can plan a wedding in a week, didn't you know that?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, they might not be having a wedding. They might just be getting married.
It's also true. Courthouse.
Yeah. Wait, how?
I think it's
How
like 3
long
days for a courthouse. For a
to
marriage
get
license.
it depends on the state.
Yeah.
License, Virginia. 60 days. Oh, wait. Within 60 days. Just tell me how early you have to apply. I don't care how early it needs to be before you can apply. I need to know the thing. I don't know.
It said it's typically around 3 days.
Okay, well that's fine then. Oh, there's no waiting period in Virginia, so it's fine. You just need to apply within 60 days of the date. So you could
just
apply
walk
the same
in
day and say,
and be
"I want to
like,
get
yo.
married."
And they'll be like, all right, well, give us 20 minutes.
Nevada's the same. That's why Vegas weddings
Yeah,
are
of
such a big
course.
thing.
And like, what's the place in New Jersey?
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City. Yes. Yeah, Atlantic City is somewhere
Yep.
where you can just be like, I'm walking into a chapel and I'm getting fucking married.
Yep.
So that's what Robert and Judith will do.
Yeah, I feel like here I think it needs to be a month. Like you have to the the celebrant has to receive your application 30 days before the date, and only one of you needs to sign it. So just say me and Sixie wanted to go and get married, but he was away for work, and I'm like, but I want to get married in 30 days. He could be like, well, you sign it and I'll sign it on the day. It's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the celebrant has to receive it 30 days in advance, which I'm pretty sure it used to be 90 days and they've changed it to 30.
Dang.
Or maybe it's 60 days now. It could be 2 months. No, it's 1 month. Definitely 1 month.
So you can't just walk into a place and be like, I want marriage now?
I think you could, but then your marriage isn't official
legal
for 30 days afterwards. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you get a post-dated marriage, I guess, if you do it same day.
Hmm.
So I don't know though if then it retroactively goes back to the day.
That you actually did the
Yeah, I
thing.
don't, because I feel like if it doesn't get retroactively taken back, then what's the point? You should have just waited a month.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like same day, like like 5-minute marriages things. I feel like that's kind of a bad choice. Like it makes for a lot of like wacky shit coming out of Vegas and everything. But I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
people shouldn't be able to just go, "Hey, I want to get married now," and the celebrant go, "Okay,
Fuck it.
done."
Let's get y'all married. Like,
Yeah, you got some ID. Excellent. Okay, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may get annulled tomorrow.
yeah, all I need is your driver's license and a credit card, and then we're done.
Yeah, it feels like a bad choice to me.
Yeah, it does.
But that's the
But that's
book.
the book.
Who wants to guess what the plot for next book is?
Getting Elena back.
Yes.
Elena out of hell, actually.
Is that really?
There's so much fire.
That should be the praise
That's
quote.
what I remember. I remember being so annoyed because there's so much fire.
I can't remember. I just
distorted view of it from reading it when I was like 12.
Yeah.
I just remember
I can't remember
being
exactly.
Like, why is there so much fire?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what happens. I just remember that Bonnie is the main female point of view in the next book.
Remember. I just remember so much fire.
I feel like it's Bonnie, and the entire book is like, let's bring Elena back. So then spoiler alert, they bring her back.
They bring Elena back.
Like, I mean, like they have to because there's like, you know, like 5 more series after
At least
this.
this one time they're not bringing Bonnie back.
Or Jeremy. I know he's not a character in the book, but like it's always just we gotta get Bonnie back or we gotta get Jeremy back.
I know, Bonnie and Jeremy
Yeah.
take turns being
No,
there.
I know, but like, so where's Jeremy at in your current?
He's alive. Bonnie's dead.
I'm sorry to spoil this for you, but it's about to happen in this episode that we're about to watch.
Mhm.
Bonnie's about to become the anchor to the other side.
Oh.
Yeah, so like that's gonna really like interrupt their like special time.
Their special ghost time?
Well, because like, you know, people have to pass through her to get to the other side. So like, can you imagine like, you know,
it actually literally does disrupt a sex scene. They show it.
Oh, I'm ready.
Because they're like making out, like she's literally in her bra, and then like, yeah. I'm sorry, that's the Elena noise. I apologize.
But it is.
But it is. Every time she's in pain, she just goes, yeah, and it's really irritating.
Because she's in pain a lot.
She is. And so, because I don't know what noise Bonnie makes, but so in any case, she goes, yeah.
It's groaning. Bonnie makes groaning noises.
And then Jeremy's like, Bonnie!
Fucking Jeremy.
honestly, though, like,
Who does Jeremy end up with?
Nobody.
no one.
Oh, poor Jeremy.
He ends up off screen.
That's sad.
He ends up off screen
I forget why.
because the actor wanted to leave.
I think we just forget about him.
I feel like that also was a thing that happened.
Like, honestly,
I will say though,
we just don't talk about Jeremy. Like, there just comes a point where we just stop talking about Jeremy.
yeah, I will say though, like when it started airing, like I would watch it and be like I know that the character isn't the most attractive character, especially in the beginning because he's so angsty. But I'm like, the actor's kind of cute though, and then I felt creepy, right?
He has a glow up, like an amazing glow up from season 1 to like season 3. I'm like, holy shit, Jeremy.
Well, I felt creepy because like what year did it start? Like Vampire Diaries start
2009.
airing? Yeah, so I was like, well, I was like 2 years out of high school at that point, and he's playing what a 15-year-old, and I'm like, I'm feeling creepy. I'm like 20. But then I looked up the actor's age. I was like 20, 21 when it started airing. So I was like, it's fine. You can perv away. He's older than you. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, because also, like, if I was to watch a movie or a TV show now with an actor that's playing a 15-year-old now, I'm like, he's good looking. I don't think he's attractive, but I think he's good looking. But when I look back on Vampire Diaries, I still look at Jeremy and go, he's attractive. But again, it's not creepy because the actor is older than me. So it's like looking back to when you were younger and thinking that someone's attractive. It's fine. So I'm just glad that the actor's older than me so I don't have to feel creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, is he older than me or is he like the same age? Wait, who plays him? Jeremy.
I fucking forget.
Jeremy,
Don't let me.
TVD actor.
I'm gonna do an audio test because Chuck said something's wrong with the audio, so I'm just gonna test it real quick.
That's right. Steve McQueen. His name's
Oh, what
Stephen
a
R.
name.
McQueen. Stephen R. McQueen. And he's a year older than me. 1 year and 6 days older than me.
Check, the audio seems to be working just fine when I just tested it, so I don't know.
It might be because
What's
I
up?
sound quieter than you.
It might be.
Oh, yeah. No, that's just because of her proximity to the...
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh!
Just speak into the ear.
His name is not a coincidence. His grandfather was Steve McQueen.
Oh.
So
that's right.
it's
I didn't
fine.
wait till we spoke, so maybe there's something wrong with the AirPods. Let's find out.
Can you imagine growing up being named after your grandfather who was named the King of Cool? Like, that was like Steve McQueen's nickname back in the day, the King of Cool. And he was named after him. Can you imagine having growing up with that freaking legacy?
No.
No, I can't. Well, I'm gonna say a little bit because my grandmother. But this is completely different. But I think you'll understand why I say it in a second. My grandmother was known for being the nicest person and always having a smile on her face and never saying anything mean about anybody.
Oof.
And I'm her granddaughter. So, and I'm named after her. And
so
everybody in my
so it's
family
kind of it's kind of like the same sort of thing where you had the nicest person ever as your namesake grandparent, and then you turned out like you.
Yeah.
And he grew up with Steve McQueen as his grandparent, named after him, and he ended up playing Jeremy on the Vampire Diaries.
Jeremy Gilbert.
Yeah, because also in the family, because everybody loved her so much that so many people in my family are named after her, and I'm the only legitimate one, and I'm turned out like me. And whoops.
Hashtag whoops.
Hashtag whoops. We fucked up. Like, I have resting bitch face. And resting bitch voice. Like it's bad.
Oh, poor bae.
I know.
Well, you know what though? You probably chose the better route than trying to follow in her footsteps because you would only
Just changing your
fail to
personality.
succeed.
Well, I actually, as like a younger, when I was like 13 years old, this was like a personal thing. It didn't work, obviously, because no one would notice me attempting to do it because I sucked at it. But I felt really guilty that I wasn't like my grandmother because like I'd never met her because she died way before I was born. But because of how everybody talked about her, I felt really bad that I wasn't like that because I'm a sarcastic piece of shit. And I was like, I'm gonna try to just be nice all the time and not say bad things about people.
Is that why you became friends with me?
No.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, you were not part of her nice facade. It's okay.
I mean, that's good though.
no.
Because
Your
if you
friendship
just
is
told
not a
me now,
lie.
I'd be like, okay, well, it's you're about like a decade too late on that.
No, it's not. But I was just like, I'm gonna try to not say mean things anymore. And I tried it like a couple of times while I was a teenager and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna stop being a needy butt. I'm gonna stop
It
being
never-
sarcastic.
Yeah,
Never worked.
you gave that quest some real commitment. You tried it a couple of times.
I did, and I tried really hard, like for a whole day. And
One whole day.
well, what would happen is like I would wake up and I'd be like, today's gonna be the fucking day. And then I would be like, fuck, I can't think like that. I can't be like today's gonna be the fucking day. It needs to be the day. And then it would just get to like 5 minutes later and I would be
And someone would piss you off.
and somebody would piss me off.
Namely, your parents, apparently, if it was 5 minutes later.
Yeah, probably. I was a teenager.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And then you're like, well, that's done. I guess I'll try again tomorrow, and then you would forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'd forget. I would forget to change my entire personality. So here we are.
You know what, though? I think it all worked out for the best because,
Yeah.
we have fun.
We have fun here.
We have fun here. That's the motto. We have fun here.
Literally, like, every single one of our release streams for Blackwoods really should just, like, the thumbnail should just be "We have fun here," because that's what we say constantly while we're writing.
We have fun here.
Yeah, it's like, we have fun here.
We have fun here. We do. We do have fun here.
And, I'm glad that they didn't take inspiration from the book in terms of how to write Elena out.
Yes.
I will say that.
Hard agree.
Yeah. Because I will say Elena is at least
Likeable in the show.
most of the time a likable character.
Yeah, there are sometimes when the whole fucking humanity switch thing was happening for her, I just wanted her to die. I was not happy.
My biggest issue with Elena in the show is, fight me on this if you feel the need to, but Nina Dobrev is not that good an actress.
Yeah, nope, agreed. Agreed.
Especially the scenes where she has to laugh or cry. There's a couple of crying scenes. She gets better as the show goes on with the crying scenes, but we're having a fun and fancy free moment type thing. Those scenes, the laugh is so freaking forced.
Is it because she's like in real life more like Catherine than she is like Elena?
Yes.
Probably.
I told you she's a much better Catherine than she is in Elena, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, no, she does snarky bitch much better than not snarky bitch.
Then nice person.
Yes.
But her
I'm not
personality
saying-
has changed since her and Damon started dating, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I mean, okay, just with how that thing was phrased, I actually don't know what Nina Dobrev is like as a person. I'm not saying she's a snarky bitch because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm saying she plays snarky bitch better.
I'm just saying I've heard things about what she's like in real life. None of them good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, she freaking publicly shaded freaking Paul Wesley.
Yeah.
She was like, I respected Paul Wesley, but I didn't like him. It's like, but how? Seriously though, those boys legit have a type though.
Yeah, they do.
Because so Ian dated Nina, and then he's married to fucking Nikki Reed now,
Yeah.
who was friends with Nina. I think they're actually still unofficially they're all still friends and close, but I don't actually know because I would be a bit weirded out if one of my close friends started dating my ex,
Yeah.
But then Paul Wesley was married to Tori something or other. She was in a few. She played Meredith.
Okay.
Oh.
He was married to the chick that played Meredith in the show. Then they got divorced, and I don't know if he's with or married to a new chick.
Paul.
But all of them, olive complexion, dark hair.
Paul just got remarried.
Yeah, Yeah, but
Yep,
they
he looks
all
the exact same.
all
Yes.
all four of them look so alike.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Those two boys literally have the exact same taste in women.
Yeah.
At least physically.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were cast well as brothers who were interested in the same women repeatedly.
Yeah, at least that way. Yeah.
Oh man, my knee. Okay.
Okay, but I think
Yeah, it's been
that's
20 minutes
that.
since we finished the book.
Yeah,
Yes.
We're just having a
But
conversation.
if we can learn anything, real quick, to go back to me,
Wait.
from
Don't fake your personality.
yeah, if we can learn anything from me trying to fake my personality, don't fake your personality to try to live up to your namesake. It's not worth it. Also, you probably won't be very good at it. You'll probably forget by lunch to keep doing it. You're gonna be okay. Just be yourself. It's fine.
And don't ever try to live up to your grandfather if he's Steve McQueen.
Just get a stage name.
Also, change your freaking name. But
Stage names are a thing. It's cool.
yeah.
And most authors have pen names. Freaking Honor Vincent.
Okay, when we won't go into that freaking blog post when we do Wildcats, I think we should wait until we do Soul Screamers at whatever point for Bad Book Week, and we'll get Addie to journalist read it.
Oh my god, yes.
All right. I can handle that for you.
Yes.
See? Because it is literally the most petulant millennial blog post you will ever read in your life, and I feel like that voice will do it justice.
I can do that. I can do that for you.
Yes.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I will do that. I will transfer between my really bad Australian and really bad British accent in a very weird tone, and I will do it for you.
Excellent. Sounds good.
All right.
Because honestly,
Yeah.
as well, I think you guys are going to really like Soul Screamers as a bad book.
Sorry. So
Okay.
with that, next week we will be doing the last Vampire Diaries book
Fucking thank
in
God.
this series.
Oh God, wait, no, we have 4 more.
No, 3
We
more.
can- 3 more.
We have 3 more?
We can
Okay, that's
always-
not bad.
We can take a break if we want to, or we can power through.
We will.
We'll talk about it.
We'll see where we're at after the next
Next
one.
week, yeah.
And next week we're also going to be doing fucking the
The
Liar
second.
Stream.
Yeah, go
Yes.
back to 2 streams next
We're
week.
going back to 2 streams next week. So that's what we're doing. And so we will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.